Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jared from RAAus, and tonight I'm joined by Nick Heath from Pace Media, who's going to answer some questions regarding the soon-to-be relaunched Sport Pilot magazine. It is an exciting time, and it's great to have some positive news during what is a very difficult period of time. So thanks, Nick, for joining us.
Pleasure to be here. Where would you like to start?
Oh yeah, to get us started, if you just please give members a brief background about yourself and who Pace Media are.
Sure. So myself, I've been a pilot for 20 years. I started in GA, like so many did, in flying Cessnas. And then when the opportunity came up to fly, well, let's be honest, a lot cheaper and easier, I transferred across to RA. And now I fly both. You'll find me either tootling around in Tech-Nams, or I have my own Vans RV6 as well, which is good for getting places fast. I must admit the Vans RV6 was a cunning plan. I'm hopeful that when the takeoff weights get changed, I'll qualify and can move it across. So I reckon I'm stalking the market there. So about our company Pace, we've been around since 1964. We do a lot of publications and bits and pieces for professional organizations. And we were fortunate enough to be the chosen party to take up the mantle of Sport Pilot after last year's tragedy. And we have, for the last 30 to 40 years, been doing this for a number of organizations. And there was a great overlap between our organization. I think I've mentioned previously to you, we have 2 qualified pilots, 1 trainee, and 1 ab initio just about to start now. He's off next month on his, what's it called? A TIFF, trial introductory flight. He's off on his TIFF next month to get going. And so we'll have 4 pilots in the company then. But we've always been interested in aviation. I think probably prior to this, but we've had a lot of involvement with the air show. We're based down in Geelong. So we have helped to deliver several air shows over the years, and never the whole thing, obviously. It's an enormous venture, but parts of it. And our main reason for flying was we service all of Australia out of Geelong. And the only way to do that practically, and it's mostly regional Australia, is by light aircraft. And RA enables us to get around pretty cost effectively. So that's why, well, we choose to fly because we like flying. Sometimes I wonder, are we flying because we like to fly and we find the work accordingly? My wife has mentioned that, why do I keep servicing clients in places like Broken Hill? And the answer is, it's a very nice flight to Broken Hill. So yes, that's us. And we're pleased to be in the middle of the real throes now of getting the first of the relaunch editions out of Sport Pilot.
All right, so talking about that, it is July 1, the new financial year. We are another month closer, to getting the magazine in the mailboxes.
Yep.
When can members expect to walk out the front?
Well, it's due to ship out the first week of August, so you should see it soon after that. And I think I'd be encouraging members to make sure their delivery information on their membership is up to date, or it's going to go to their old address or not at all. And of course, the big difference in this edition, as you'd know well, is we're sending it to everyone. Unless they've specifically said they don't want it, they'll be getting a copy. So whereas before you had to have a separate subscription, now everyone's going to get it. So I think we'd all be encouraging people to make sure their information is up to date and correct, because here it comes.
So that is a really important point there, Nick, is that is one of the major developments for this edition of Sport Pilot, is that it is in hard copy in every member's hands.
Yeah, yeah.
So will members still be able to view the magazine in a digital form?
They will. So in addition to all the previous magazines being online, we're producing the new printed format. And I should say that probably the thing they'll see that's most notable about the new format is we've lifted the quality of the production. That's no criticism of the previous production, but that was produced 12 times a year for a smaller audience. Now we're producing it 3 times a year at this stage, and it's going to everyone. So expect a slightly bigger, what we're trying to do is produce something that you can put on your bookshelf that you'll be proud to have. Because I don't know about you, you can probably see behind me, I'm a bit of a fan of reading material. And I've got, I think, every edition of Sports Pilot since I signed up. And I'll often go back, I'll have a moment and suddenly remember there was a particular aircraft I wanted to look at, and I'll go back and have a look. So we're going to make it so that you can even get online, search an article, figure out which edition it was in, and go back through your Sports Pilots, plus all the old Sports Pilots. So there'll still be the ability to get them all online in digital form, and we'll be picking up some of that content and using it in places like social media and on the website. But there'll also be this high quality printed version going out as well.
Sport Pilot version is free to members. You did mention that it goes out 3 times a year. Can you just advise what months they will be then? So
at this stage, we decided we have to get one out around about August, because that's our annual board renewal time, and so we would normally do an edition around that time. We'll have one prior to Christmas for the summer season to get you going, and then one in sort of Easterish time to get you through that autumn period and winter when the days are getting shorter, but you need some good reading material to keep you enthusiastic. And I know that a lot of people at the moment down our way are a little bit, well, we're all desperate for a fly because it's quite hard to justify flying at the moment, particularly if you're a Victorian like me. We're a bit nervous about getting shot down if we cross a border. So at least with the magazine, we can read about it if we can't be in the air.
Okay. So what will be different about the new Sport Pilot magazine? Are there any new features that?
Well, other than being a slightly bigger and better physical publication, what we're trying to do as a mission is to write the sort of articles we'd like to read as pilots. So we still want to see, I think more than pilots, aviation enthusiasts. I'm not just interested in necessarily what planes I'm qualified to fly. I'm interested in the big stuff, the small, anything that flies, I want to know about. Anything related to flying, I want to know about. So we've probably broadened our reach a little bit there. So we're quite happy to chat about things that previously we might have left off the table. We're still going to cover what is the core RAAus, and we're not forgetting where it came from. So it came from that ultralight school. We're still talking about 3-axis. We're still talking about gliders and parachutes and all the sorts of people that were the loose groups that came together to really give RAAus its base. But we're also looking into the future. So many people are now looking to RAAus as their starting point in their aviation career. So we've got to talk to them about where they're going to go. So we're going right through into GA and into heavy aircraft and into any form of flight. For example, one of the articles we're talking about this upcoming edition is on electric flight. It's coming. It's still an early technology and it's still very much in the trial stage, but it's probably about where electric cars were 20 years ago. But it is going to come. And so we're exploring all these interesting areas. We're still going to cover off on important issues like safety, law, good training and behavior. So we're still going to cover those core areas. But what I like to think is that there'll be something in there that you pick up, and if you're a fan, there'll be some good articles there that you can get your teeth into and really enjoy, and that'll educate you about what's going on in the industry.
Okay, sounds like a really solid strategy.
Well, we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding, won't it?
Sure. So you mentioned some of the an article that would be in the August edition.
Yep.
Is there? Can you give us a bit of a sneak peek on some?
Well,
the other
I don't think I'm giving too much away. I think the electric one's really interesting. We haven't decided on final. We're just finalising content now. We've got some new products coming in there that I won't tell you what they are, but we're reviewing a couple of new aircraft, which are quite interesting. We're also talking about looking into such things as, it's pretty contentious stuff recently, spin testing and things like that. So we're going to have a good look into what an aircraft should and shouldn't do and what their capabilities are and what's tested and understanding what you should be doing in an aircraft. We've got some good articles there about what to do in terms of maintenance in the wintertime, because we think that's timely. And I don't know if we've let people know, but we're bringing in this rather large additional section coming in about getting your aircraft back into the air after a period of pause, which is timely both because we're coming out of the winter and also because with the COVID limitations, a lot of people have hanged up their aircraft and it's sat there for a while. So they need to really have a good look at what's going on there. We've got some good stories. One of the things we're bringing in a little bit more profile from people sending in their rides. And I'd encourage anyone who's out there at the moment who's proud of their aircraft. We'd love to see pictures. We'd love to see a little bit of a story about that, because we'll be featuring what people do and what they fly. And the other thing we're going to look at is where you go. We're going to start introducing destinations for the traditional, well, it used to be called the $100 hamburger. If you can get away with it for $100 now, you're doing well. But we all want to have places to fly to. So we're going to have a good look at that this edition as well. We're going to pick out a couple of places that might be great options for touring and going to. Plus all the usual, we'll have the classifieds there with the planes for sale. I always love to have a look through that to see where the market's at. So we're looking for some really, that mix of articles of education, compliance and those important things, but some inspirational stuff. And I have to say, there's one new model coming in there. There's only one of them in Australia. We're trying to get it in this issue. I won't tell you what it is yet, but if we can, it's one of that new generation of aircraft that's just so exciting that you're doing 120, 130 knots in great comfort with full electronic panels in front of you at 24 litres an hour. It's this new generation. So I can't reveal, but if it comes together, it'll be really exciting.
We'll look forward to it. You mentioned about members sending in content.
Yep.
You just explain to members how they can do that. And
we're a slightly democratic organisation in that we are a membership-based organisation, RAAus, and we'd love to hear what the members want to say. And I'm happy to take anything from a letter. If you feel you've got something you need to get off your chest, send it on in. I can't guarantee it'll be published, but we'll certainly read it. And we'd love to hear about what aircraft you're flying, and we'd love to hear any topic you want to cover. We've already had quite a few submissions from people on issues as varied as safety. A terrific article written on safety, particularly for 3-access craft. And that, I think that's going to get a run. So anyone who'd like to editorial@pace.com.au and send it on into us, and we'd love to hear anything you've got to say. We'd love to see pictures of your aircraft. We'd love to see pictures of your airport or places you like to fly to. We'd be happy to take anything.
There's a lot of members out there, I think, who feel like they need to have their article really polished, and to the Australian.
Not at all. I'll take genuine over polish any day. Particularly in the era. Look at us now. Once upon a time, we never would have let video like this go to air, would we? Because it all had to be studio quality and all the rest of it. I think what we've discovered is content is more important than polish. I'd love some genuine stories, and not to worry. If you've got a story idea, we'd like to hear that too. If you need some help with it, we can assist there as well. So make contact, people, because we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, so that's really good to hear. And you also wouldn't publish anything that they send to you without their approval.
Obviously, we've got to have permission, your permission to do it. And if there's people in the images, then we'll need their permission as well. So we're going to make sure that it's legitimate to use and verified. But don't let that stop you either, because that we take care of that part. And so send it on in. And I received some material today from one of the Stoll enthusiasts, and it's just the most magnificent photography that they've just taken out of the cockpit of their plane and across the wing of this huge tundra-tired aircraft. And I think it's going to get a run, and certainly from a quality image. So if you've got good photos, I don't always need a story. I'll take a photo. And of course, we're doing social media and digital content all the time. So we're always hungry for material.
Mm-hmm. So on that point, there's articles that would be used just for digital purposes. And
absolutely. Sometimes we're only producing 3 print magazines a year at the moment. So we don't, if it's newsworthy, it needs to get out there to the members quickly. So if you've got an event happening or something occurring that's timely, we'll use digital to get it out there. Because I think we're recognizing now that we do love a magazine, but people consume an awful lot of digital, and it's very accessible. It's on their phone, it's on their computer, it's on their tablet. So that's a great way to get material out quickly. So if you've got some news to share, we'll often put it out that way.
Mm-hmm. And there's also now, as we talk about some advertising, because the print magazine is, going to be sitting on coffee tables and, in flying schools and at aero clubs for 3 months. And it's not turning over on a monthly basis. That's a really good opportunity for advertisers.
It is, and I think because the quality of the publication now, it's almost book quality. So it's going to have a long lifespan, and it's in a quality format, and it's got stories around it. So there's going to be things people want to look at. And particularly as we now come out of some of the COVID limitations, I mean, as a Victorian, no, but for the rest of you states, life's getting back to normal. And so that's a great opportunity for many businesses and organizations, and particularly training supply companies who perhaps have kept quiet for the last few months. Might be a great chance. This is going to be in the hands of, I think, 10,000 in print format, and around 20,000 will be emailing it out with links digitally too as well. So that's a potential 30,000 odd viewers. It's a great opportunity to get out there, and I think great interest around the first edition as well. So any advertisers, we'd love to hear from them quickly. We're closing, I think we've set a message out saying we're closing the book now-ish. We haven't got much time left, so get right onto that. And the second thing is, if you've got a story as a manufacturer or a firm, we'd like to hear that too. If we can get into this edition, we will. But if we can't, we'll get it out through the digital or in the next edition. So there's always that scope, because people love a lot of the product that's out there. So they want to know about the aircraft. They want to know about the accessories. There's so much interest around things like instrumentation at the moment and the move to digital. There's just a great appetite. And whereas GA has been very hard hit by this, particularly commercial airlines, RA, not quite the same. I'd still see us out there and being pretty active, particularly once we can get back in the air.
Yeah. Oh, and hopefully getting the magazine out there to, 10,000 people.
Yeah. It's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, create a lot of opportunity. So I want to, in some ways, confirm to our membership who's going to receive the magazine. Is that at the moment, if you're a current flying member, a current non-flying member, a junior member,
so
sign up to an affiliate membership, you're going to receive the magazine. And for anyone looking to receive the magazine, if you'd like to be on our mailing list for the first edition to receive it now in August, there is the subscription deadline has been extended, and you have until Thursday the 2nd of July, midnight, Thursday 2nd of July, so tomorrow night, to renew your membership if it's currently suspended or cancelled, or to subscribe to the magazine by becoming an affiliate member for just $39 a year, which is incredible value. And you can do that by getting onto our website and clicking the Join Now button.
Yeah, I'd encourage them to do so, or they're going to miss out on a great read.
Well, I thank you very much for joining us. And we can't wait to get the magazine in our hands.
No, I can't wait to get the first edition out either.
Oh, sorry, I've got one last question here. It's just popped up. Process has been asked, but paid a renewal originally for Sport Pilot, but I stopped before I received it. Is a refund available? So you will be receiving the magazine in August, and in the August magazine there will be a pamphlet on your options that you have available if you had paid for it previously. And some of those options, we'll see if Coda can actually just place it up on the screen now for us. which is 4, which is one of the options is, of course, to get a refund. Another is to get a extension to your membership. You could choose to donate the funds to the gift scholarship. And the last option was a gift voucher for the online shop. There you go. Another question, can I still get the Sport Pilot magazine with an existing flying member subscription that I started in November 2019? So at the moment, if you are a current member, Christian, then yes, you will be receiving the magazine. And just make sure, as Nick said earlier on in the stream, log into your member portal and ensure that your mailing details are all correct and up to date. Otherwise, it may be sent, or would be sent to your old address and not where you're currently residing. So that is an important point to note.
So that's the big difference now, is that the standard members who weren't previously magazine subscribers will automatically receive, provided they are a paid up member and provided they have their information correct, so we can get it to them.
Oh, excellent. All right, thanks for that, Nick. Thanks for everyone for joining us. And
thank you.
Look forward to reading the first edition.
We do. Thanks very much.